We go. Hello and welcome to PrepEve, where we revolutionize how you prepare for IELTS. Today we have with us Bhuvandeep Kaur, who has cleared her IELTS test, and I would love her to introduce herself first, and then we'll discuss about her journey and her preparation strategies. So over to you, Bhuvandeep. Please
Hey,
introduce
good
her.
morning, ma'am, and good morning, everybody. So this is Bhuvandeep Kaur this side. Currently, I'm in Canada, and I took my coaching for the academic IELTS test here. I'm working as a pharmacy assistant. So, being an internationally educated nurse, my goal was to get my nursing license in Canada as well. So that was the purpose for taking the academic IELTS exam in Canada.
Okay, so as you guys already know, she's in Canada and she wanted to get her nursing license. So she start from her journey way back in India. She's originally from India. We'll ask her how she prepared and how she actually reached Canada, and then what were the obstacles that she had to face, especially with this preparation. So yeah, over to you again. Let us know about your very first IELTS test and how you prepared, and then till the final attempt, the latest one, and also share your scores.
Sure. So my first attempt was in India when I wanted to migrate here as an international student. So my scores were in listening, I guess 8, in reading was 8.5, speaking was 7, and in writing I was at 6.5. At that time I was thinking that it was enough for me to come
Yeah,
here
yeah, of
as an
course,
international
because
student. Yeah.
you need like 6.5 each. That's it.
Right, yeah. So that's why I didn't work much more determination and dedication, thinking that they were that score was enough for me. Then after 2 years, when I started my nursing process here to get a license, I I was notified by the regulatory body here that I need to sit in the academic IELTS as well. First of all, I thought that my English would have been improved to a greater extent, and I might not need some external help. So I prepared. It was just a preparation, and I set the exam in just 2 weeks. Just after 2 weeks, I was able to score the required bands in all the modules except for writing. So I was actually stuck at 6.5 again. So
Mhm.
then it was my mother who told me she was randomly searching through the YouTube videos and she came across your channel, PrepEve. She might have read the reviews as well, and she said that this might be of great help for you. So, as you know, we can't deny our mother's suggestions. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? She was the one who told me that there might be some problem with your writing, so you need a qualified and experienced instructor to direct you that what are you doing wrong. Then that was my final attempt, and I was able to score line 9 in listening, 8 in reading, and 7 each in writing and speaking as well. So my goal was accomplished, and all thanks to Prep Eve.
Thank you so much, Bhuvandeep. And I'll tell you her scores in the second attempt once she reached Canada and she was taking this test before meeting us, before reaching out to us. So she mentioned that she was confident that now that she has stayed in Canada for 2 years, she'll be able to score well. And trust me, she did score well apart from writing. Her score in speaking was 8.5, which is fantastic, I would say. And that shows that if you're surrounded by English speaking people, if you are in an English speaking country, you're forced to communicate in English. Okay, you don't have any other option. Your colleagues, especially if you're a nurse, you're working in some medical healthcare center, some hospital, so you have to speak in English with your patients, with your colleagues, with your seniors, and that kind of improves your fluency, improves your English skills in general, and that showcases a lot in your speaking. So that's the reason there's a tremendous rise also. So yeah, of course she did really well, but she was consistently stuck with writing at 6.5. And when she approached us after her second attempt, I'll just read out her scores for the third attempt. So it was a perfect 9 in listening. In reading, it was 8, which was again amazing. And in speaking, it was 7. And in writing, again, the benchmark was reached. The desired band score that she needed, the minimum that she needed was 7, and she could reach it within 10 days. So she took coaching from us just for 10 days, which is 10 sessions of 1 hour each. And she let us know how she managed it all with such hectic schedule. I've heard that she worked for about 12 hours every day as a nurse. And I'm pretty sure everyone would agree that nursing is not a serious, I mean, not a easy job, right? It's not at all easy. So over to you again. Please share, how did you manage your time and how did you go about the entire preparatory process?
Sure. So I was working for around like 10 to 12 hours, at least 5 days a week. So I used to start my work at 6 o'clock in the morning and at 6 in the evening, because I was volunteering and I was working in a retail store as well in a pharmacy
Oh,
department. Yeah, so it was very difficult for me because I had some bad days as well. So I took classes at around, after finishing 6, I used to reach home at 7 and then took my classes from 7:30 to 8:30. And I would say Dipti ma'am was a great sport. She was the one who kept on motivating me and told me that I can do it. I have that capability, because once you are stuck at one point again and again, you lose your motivation.
of course,
So
I understand.
yeah, I got a huge dose of motivation from her as well. So I think just because of her motivation, I did not feel any kind of tiredness in myself as well. So what I did was I used to discuss all my concerns with her, especially my writing styles. I used to write one essay daily, task one as well as task two, and she went through all the lines, and even she just suggested me how to improve my writing. It was not just pointing out my mistakes, but also suggesting me good points where I can actually improve, where I was going wrong. Then after that, after finishing my class, I used to write one more essay. I used to wake up till 12
Oh my
at
God.
night. Yeah, because I used to practice one listening test, one reading test, one writing, and of course cue cards, like 4 to 5 cue cards
Every
every
day.
day. Yeah, in
Oh,
all
wow.
those like 10 to 15 days. Because I was so determined that
So when
yes,
did you
this
sleep?
time.
When did you sleep?
Well, I think those were the only days. No, I find it difficult actually. I used to have like 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day to keep myself,
Oh my God. Okay,
active
that's
at
also
work.
not something that I would propagate. Please
No,
take good
no,
care of
no,
yourself.
definitely not, definitely not. In fact, I feel that if someone is having enough time, because I was running out of time, so I had to
Mhm.
take this step. I was not having any other option. So definitely, I will suggest all the people, if you really want to score good marks, you need a relaxating environment. I was already like getting the score, so I was not that afraid except for writing.
Right.
But
Mhm.
yeah, for the first attempt takers, it is very important to just free your mind. Your mind should be free of any kind of burden, whether work or studies, so that you can devote your full time towards IELTS.
Yes, of course, of course. I agree. And I didn't know about your schedule in such a
Yeah.
detailed manner. I mean, I am impressed. And I would say that if you were working so hard to, practice every day, you were dedicated, then definitely nobody could have stopped you from getting that score. So dedication is really important. And moral of the story is that if you really want to do it, you will find out a way. You would not make any excuses. You would not say that I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I have 12 hours shift, or
Hmm.
I have to get up early, I can't sleep late. So I know it might be really exhausting because you have to sleep for just 4 5 hours, but if it's a matter of just 10 days, you can still manage it, because it's just like you have to
Right.
take the test and after that you can resume your normal life back, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that is something that you have to figure out. It's up to you how you manage your time. Bhuvandeep shared her story, like how she used to manage time. You can take some inspiration from her, or you can tweak her ways and then follow it, right?
Yeah.
So that's again amazing. Now, I want you to tell the audience whether you have taken the paper-based test or the computer-delivered test, and which one do you prefer?
Okay, so my first attempt when I was in India, it was paper based. And
Mhm.
but when I came here, it was so difficult to get the days for the paper based test. So I was I was
Forced.
left with no other option. Yeah, but just I had to go with the computer-based test. But
Mhm.
I think that if you're actually good with typing, because computer-delivered tests are all about your typing skills. If
True.
you're fast, you're having a good accuracy as well as speed, then definitely you should go for computer-based test. But the one problem that I faced was the voice of, clicking the buttons
Oh,
on the keyboard. Yeah, it's quite
that.
yeah, one cannot concentrate actually on the task that he's doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, if he's bothered so much by the people around them. But it was difficult for me, but however I managed it, because this time the second test center where I went, they gave us the earbuds, so we could
Mhm.
actually put it and concentrate on our studies as well.
I
And
guess they
also,
provide you in every center. If you request them to give you earbuds, they would do it. That's what I'm
mm,
aware
yeah,
of. Yeah.
yeah, I guess so, because the first time, I mean, my second attempt, I wasn't even aware because it was my first computer base. I said maybe the things were gonna be like this, like maybe the
Mhm.
policies are like this. So, but second
Mhm.
time, the third attempt. So yeah, it was a good experience with the computer-based test, and with the
Mhm.
paper-based test, the disadvantage is in writing. If you write something wrong and you need to modify, you have to erase it. But in
Yes.
the yeah, in computer based, you just have to click the backspace and the line is all gone out. So it's gonna save
You
your
can
time as
edit, you
well.
can cut, copy, paste, you can change the order easily. Yeah,
Right,
right.
right. And there's a word count also available, so you don't need to count the words again and again. With
Mhm.
reading, it was same as well. We can highlight the major points in the passage, and yeah. But with the listing, usually we get 10 minutes at the end of the listing test in case of paper-based exam. But in computer-based, we don't need that much of time. Uh, they
Mhm.
don't, because they only give you 2 minutes to check your answers. Because
Right.
computer-based is quite convenient. Giving 10 minutes is just a wastage of time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the computer based test as compared to the paper based if you are something who is good with writing on a keyboard.
Yeah, basically, if you're comfortable with using a computer and you have a good typing speed, then you can, of course, think about going for the computer delivered test because then you get the added advantage of a word count as well as, all those editing tools which will help you in changing the sentence structure or, changing the order of the sentences as well. If you want to pick one sentence from the first paragraph, put it in the second one, you can easily do it. But yet again, these are very minor things. You would not really be editing a lot because you would not have that much time. So whatever you have written at the first instance would remain as it is, more or less. You'll hardly change anything. So you have to take your call. The most important thing, according to me, would be your comfort level. So just check your comfort level, whether you're comfortable with computers or not. If you are comfortable and if you think that you're getting good dates for the computer delivered test, just go for it. Right? Okay, so that is good. Any strategies that you have followed for each of the modules separately and that you would like to share with the audience, with the viewers?
Okay,
So we
so
can pick
first of
each and
all,
every, yeah, we can pick each and every module separately, or you can pick whichever module you like, and then we can discuss about it.
okay, so yeah, I can discuss in separate modules. So first, with respect to listening, my main aim was to not to skim the questions, but to understand them. I have heard from a lot of my friends that they are facing difficulties while they're attempting multiple choice questions
Mm-hmm.
in listening tests. So my strategy was to understand the question, translate it into my own native language in my brain with
Perfect.
the options as well, so that I can actually know what the question is actually asking. Because when you actually know are you looking for, you will definitely find an answer. So that was my strategy that I've been following for, I think, 2 years now in all my attempts. This was my first strategy. Second was just to focus on the main words. I used to underline the words beforehand or used to highlight them beforehand, so
Mm-hmm.
that whenever the conversation is going to start with that particular section, I can actually focus on those words only.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, so this was these are like the two tips that have really helped me to maintain a score from 8 to 9 in the listening. With respect to reading, it's all about patience. I have seen many people who are not, because they get tired by reading the same passage again and again. So, but yeah, we have to concentrate on reading. Reading actually needs a great amount of concentration. My strategy was to first look at the questions. Like if there were like 1 to 5 questions, I used to look at all the questions first, like 5 questions, and then go back again to the passage, because then we know what are we looking for actually. So it just helps us to
Absolutely.
save our time. Yeah. In fact, I was able to finish all my reading sections in just 45 minutes in the last
Oh,
attempt.
amazing. How did you manage your time?
Yeah, so what I did was my first message, I completed it in 12 minutes. So how I did was I read through all the questions, like 1 to 13 questions,
Mm-hmm.
again went to the passage, then find the synonyms of the same words, then highlighted them, then again went to the passage, again read the questions, again found some of the more synonyms or the dates, because if the questions are having the dates in them, it's
It's
very
easier to
easy.
identify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very easy to find out the dates. And third was every section was having 5 fill-ups in it. So I did fill in the blanks first. So that was my main strategy, to look at the questions and then go back again to the passage. So
Okay,
yeah.
that's amazing. I've never heard of any student telling me that they could complete their reading test in 45 minutes. And was this the case in all the three tests?
Not in
Not
the
one.
second one, I would say. Yeah, not in the second but one, but in the first one also. The my first attempt, I had like 10 more minutes. I completed it in like 50 to 55 minutes. I still
Wow,
remember it.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I think this is all because I was I graduated as a nurse, so we had to read like a lot of books and make reports on the patients. So maybe it was the habit that I
Yeah,
inculcated
of
while I
course.
was in my college days. Yeah.
Yeah, so of course. And also, please highlight whether you went through all the Cambridge books, because a lot of students ask this question that should we go through all the Cambridge books, which are like 15 of them, and I have answered this question a lot of times. So I want a student, a successful student, to answer this question who ends up completing their test 10 minutes before the actual time limit. So yeah, what's your take on that? How many
No.
tests should we practice? How many reading or listening tests should we practice before we are good to go?
So I think one does not need to practice all the Cambridge books, because you need to know how to skim the passage. These are like all your skills, that how you are gonna take the passage in order
Mhm.
to answer the questions. It's not compulsory. If you are practicing like 10 passages and you don't know the exact strategies, then yeah, all your
Fine.
efforts will be in fiasco. Yeah, there's no point in just practicing all the efforts, all the passages like that. And yeah, it's not compulsory to go through each and every line. I have seen some people who start reading from first
Yeah,
line to last line. I am not that kind of person. That's why I save a lot
you
of time.
shouldn't be. You shouldn't be that kind of person, because here you're not reading the passage to understand everything. You're reading the passage to answer the questions. So the agenda
Yeah.
is different. The academic reading that you have in your colleges and universities, there you have to read every line because you have to understand everything, and you have to probably take a subjective test later on at the end of the semester or something. But here in this case, you already have the questions and you just have to answer those questions. That's your focus. So there's no point of going through everything. Perfectly well summarized. So let's move on to writing now.
With
The
writing, as I said,
big
yeah,
big,
the main, yeah,
yeah.
my biggest challenge, I would say, in my whole life was writing, because I was so confident in my second attempt that my writing skills would have been definitely improved, because I had been doing all the college assignments in writing form only. But what I found was, because I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos, I think I got confused in the structure before. So
Oh,
that's where I found the help. In fact, I was having difficulties to generate the ideas as well. But thanks to Dipti ma'am, she just told me how I can brainstorm the ideas and pick one of the main ideas, and I have to prioritize this. The another thing I would say is you need to practice only one writing in one day. The thing why I'm saying is once a person gets tired, he will lose his interest.
Of
Then he
course.
feels
You're
like,
not
yeah,
able to generate ideas, you'll blank out and you will be demotivated basically.
yeah, right. So yeah, it was all because of Dipti ma'am. I would say like she corrected my essays and told me the exact ways where I was going wrong. So what I did was after every class, I used to write her tips. I used to modify my essay as well,
Mm-hmm.
with the lines and the vocabulary. So I
Mm-hmm.
prepared, she sent me some of the material as well, like a separate vocabulary, which helped me a lot. So I
Mm-hmm.
used to read the vocabulary and try to implement all those things in my essay as well. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I realized after my experience with PrepEve was that one doesn't need to have a lot of high level of vocabulary. You just need to know, yeah, how to organize your ideas, because your ideas should be coherent, they should link, they should flow very smoothly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this was lacking in my essay. So this is where PrepB came into action and told me that how to actually organize and make it a smooth conversation, like because it is what is going to be in front of the examiner, and you're going to judge on that essay that I wrote. So yeah, this was all about it. And also I used to read one article daily, one article regarding
And that was
anything,
the
whether
source.
yeah, whether it was for fashion or anything like the area of my interest, I used to read one article. So it helped me a lot to learn about how the structure of the essays are going to work, how I can write complex sentences and compound sentences as well. So yeah, these were the strategies that I used.
All right, all right. So I just want to tell everyone this particular thing. First of all, I'll convey all the thanks to Deepthi as well. I'll convey that, you really helped the person out, and she was
Mm-hmm.
praiseworthy of you, and she was really happy with the whatever you taught. Of course, I'll do that, but also I want everyone to know here that number one, if you're doing well in all the other modules and just getting stuck with writing, just like Bhuvandeep, it does not mean that you don't have a good command over the language. You definitely have a great command over the language. That's the reason you're getting 9 or 8 in your reading and listening, and you're also scoring about 7 or 8 in your speaking. And in fact, in her case, the maximum in speaking was 8.5. This basically means that you have a good command over the English language. Now, if you're not able to cross 6.5 in your writing, it just means that you're not very sure about the parameters. And even if you know the parameters, you don't know how to showcase them in your writing. And that's where we would come and help you, right? So the trainers are there to give you a direction, tell you what needs to be done. We are not teaching you English. We are not English teachers. We are training you for the IELTS test, and there's a lot of difference between the two. We'll not be telling you ABCD. We'll be guiding you how to score well, how to reach that level or the desired bands that you want to reach. And apart from that, as a trainer, we are just not training you, we're also motivating you. That's a part of our job, because a lot of students that come to us are demotivated because they're reaching out to us after their second, third, or sometimes even fourth or fifth attempt. So this basically showcases that they're demotivated. Some of them are like, hoga hi nahi humse. Okay, they are ready to enroll because they want to do it, but then somewhere at the back of their head, they're like, see, I've okay, this is this personal story. This interview would be uploaded pretty soon. There's this another student, Nehmeet. So he took 6 times. Okay, he took the IELTS general training 6 times, and every time he was stuck with writing at 6.5. So that's a different story. I don't know why I brought it up here, because his score also came like just a day before yours. So that interview is also scheduled. So I just thought I'll just share it because both of you are very similar. Both of you were stuck at 6.5, and you have no idea how much motivation is needed to actually score 7 in your writing, because you have somewhere believed that you cannot do it. And that's what we have to change before we actually start teaching you or training you.
Yeah, I
So
totally agree, ma'am.
because we have to face such students, and it takes a lot, you need to convince them, ho jayega, you can do it. So that's the reason we record these interviews, to motivate anyone and everyone who's stuck at 6.5, not just in writing, in any module. You can do it, guys. Just believe in yourself and just focus, take the right direction and practice for a while. It's possible. Trust me, it's possible. And Bhuvandeep is going to say with us that it's possible, right?
Right, it definitely is
Yeah.
possible.
So that's it. Any parting words, Bhuvandeep? Anything that you would want to share? Any closing lines with the future
Well,
aspirants or with
yes.
the future nurses?
Well, it's all about practice. Practice as well as you said, that motivation, because one needs a push to
Yeah.
one's own everybody is having the capability to speak English, because we have been like learning it from our kindergartens only.
Yeah, of
So
course.
but yeah, if you actually need a good score, you need a a good trainer who can actually direct you towards your goal. It's
Yeah.
not always like even with reading or writing or any other module, I would say that practice is the key. And yeah, one don't need to practice all the Cambridge works. I've heard this from many people as well, and they are having this thing in mind that they have to practice for all the Cambridge tests. No, you just need to know the basic skills, and you need to implement those skills while you're practicing. So yeah, that's my only advice, and I would definitely recommend to my friends as well, because PrepEve is would be the one with which I would be able to get my nursing license soon. And
So
yeah, I
much.
will be definitely taking my general training from you as well, because I will soon be appearing for the GT exam as well. So yeah, it was a good experience. And yeah, especially thanks to all the PrepEve team who just helped me to gain such a good scores.
Thank you so much, Bhuvandeep. And you have no idea how happy hearing this sentence makes me, that, I am now going to be a nurse because of you guys.
Right.
So I
Definitely.
that's such a beautiful feeling, and you have no idea how humbled I feel, and also my team, of course. Now, right now, I'm representing them. So it's really beautiful to hear such things, and even though it's a very tiny test, it really changes the lives of people. Like even getting a PR, you
Right.
are sure about your settlement in Canada, and similarly getting your nursing license. So that's beautiful. Thank you so much for such kind words, and all the very best for your future. So see you soon, and I don't think you'll need any help for the general training test. I'm pretty sure because you have scored really well. But still, if you need any help with your PR process or with the IELTS preparation, we are always here for you. So any doubts, any questions at any point of time, you have my number. You have a WhatsApp group for you, so you can
Yeah.
just reach out to us anytime. And thank you so much for sparing time on Sunday, on a weekend, for this interview. Thank you so very much, and all the best once again. Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye.